is up, guys? Hope you guys have had an awesome week. I am going to talk about my struggles with pipeline welding. First of all, I've got several struggles. I could go on and on, but I'm going to just name a few for this video. Somebody commented. I wrote this comment down because I really loved the comment and I wanted to make a video about it. It was from Dirt Rider KX500. I want to thank you for putting this comment up and asking me this question. His exact words were, "Not to be rude, what is your weakness in pipe welding and what do you think you need to improve on? Keep up the great videos." Like I said, thank you for asking that question. It's not rude at all, or at least I don't take any offense to it. I think it's a great question. I seen an opportunity there and I wanted to act on it and share with you guys my struggles, and in hopes that it will help you guys, if nothing else, just to realize that just because I'm on here making videos doesn't mean I'm any kind of special person, you know, or best welder in the world, because I'm not. By far, I am not the best welder. That's why I talk about learning something every single day, because I believe in constantly improving yourself, and that's what I try to do every single day. I just want to start with some people. I've had people ask me, not very often, but I have in the past, people ask me, like, doesn't pipelining get old? Like, doesn't welding pipe get old? And my answer is always, you know, I'm real quick to say, not at all, man. There's so many different variables in pipeline welding. You know, there's tons of different variables and there's so much to learn. You know, you'll be on a job welding 16-inch, you weld on it for 5-6 months, you know, standard wall, say, and when you get the hang of it, job's over with, you move on to the next job. It might be, you know, 36-inch, you know, and it's a whole different ball game. You might be on harder pipe, you know. In that ground video a couple weeks ago, I talked about different hardnesses of pipe, and that makes a difference, you know, in your heat and everything. So anyway, it never gets old, and that's one of the reasons I love it the most. There's so many lessons to be learned from pipelining and welding pipe, and you can look at it several different ways. You know, you can look at you can compare it to different aspects of life. You know, that's what I love most. You know, it's one of the things I love most about pipeline welding. So anyway, I wrote down 4 or 5 different things, pretty much 4 things, that I struggle with. The first one being consistency. I've always struggled with making my passes around the pipe, no matter what size of pipe, thickness, it don't matter. I struggle with being consistent, and that goes a long way. You know, keeping your, you know, the gap you take is going to matter on the gap of your cap, you know. So being consistent is really important, and that's something that I still struggle with. Slowly get better over the years, you know. You just naturally do if you take your job any kind of serious or any kind of pride in your work, but which I do. I'm obviously constantly trying to learn, and constantly trying to get better. So I slowly get better, but it's still something that I struggle with. So that's a big deal. Consistency is a big deal. It's going to make your welds look a lot nicer, and it's less chance of catching a repair. If you're just, the more consistent you are, the more steady you are with your hand, and the more steady and consistent with the same amount of metal you put in each pass every time, the more likely it's going to be clean, and the more, you know, likely you're going to be able to keep it straight. So consistency is a big one that I still struggle with. Another one that I've struggled with since I started welding is setting my machine. Back in Votech, we learned all that. We had a lot of classroom time before we ever went out to the shop, and a lot of that was, you know, the instructor yah-yahing about where to set your machine. And of course, being 16, 17 years old, however old I was, I guess 16, I I was raring to go. I didn't care much for classroom stuff. I just wanted to go weld. And I regret that a little bit. Because setting your machine is very, very important. The more you understand about your weld machine and where to set it on what you're welding on, the easier it is to weld with it. So setting my machine, I've always struggled with it from the time I worked in that shop right out of high school, just running a wire gun, hard wire. I'd get to fooling with them knobs of wire speed and all that stuff, and I'd make it work. I mean, I make whatever work, but it would help if I would teach myself more about setting that machine. Now, one thing I want to throw in right here is, even though you might struggle with something, use those struggles to your advantage. That's what I've always done. For example, this machine I have now, it's an SAE 300, and it has that variable change on the main. It don't have gears. It don't have certain settings. It don't have 4, 5, or 6 different settings. You can put it wherever you want over there on your main. So that really messed with my head, and since I struggle with setting my machine, I just finally left it in one spot and welded with it. Now what I did there was I took advantage of me not knowing exactly where to put it. I mean, I obviously have an idea. You learn this stuff naturally when you do it, but I would just get frustrated. It might, in one spot I would have it, it would run a bead real good, but then it wouldn't cap as good as I liked. So finally I just left it alone and I just made it work. The good thing about that is I learned how to weld. I learned how to weld with my puddle not doing exactly what I wanted it to, if that makes any sense, and that can help you. So use your struggles to your advantage, learn from them. But I mean, in the meantime, be trying to improve all the time, but just don't get down about your struggles. Just use it to your advantage. Use them to your advantage. Another thing I wrote down here was the top tie-in whenever I'm brother-in-law. A lot of times when you're brother-in-law and you take off. I talked about this in my in that ground video also, but when one guy takes off, you burn a little bit and the other guy takes off right into it. Well, in my head, to keep it clean, I always wanted to stay up there a real long time. It would get real big up there. And like I said, I've gotten better, but there's still times where it frustrates me when I don't, do it, when I don't look exactly how I want it to look, even though I've learned a whole bunch and done it more often. But a lot of times, what I was going to say was, a lot of times guys would normally, I would take off first, so I didn't get that much experience, tying in, which I have now, like I said, but it hurt me because I never got the opportunity to work on it and practice it. But so that's something that I would say I struggle with a little bit. And then the first time I was on, the last two are pretty much the same thing, is the bottoms. Bottoms on, the first time I was on 24 inch, I'd been on, this was like 2 or 3 years ago, the first time I was on 24 inch. And from 20 inch to 24 inch, there is more of a flat bottom, I guess, if you will. And I struggled with it. I couldn't, like I said, I made it work, but I really fought it for a long time. And the other one I wrote down is bottoms on an angle, like on a 45. So anyway, those are some of my struggles. I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you guys know that struggles are not a bad thing. You can definitely learn from your struggles. And I just want to encourage you guys to do that. Learn from your struggles. Don't let them hold you back, but also try to improve along the way, Try new things, The only way you're going to get better is by challenging yourself. So do not be afraid to try new things. Get that first mess up or wreck or whatever. Get the first incident out of your way, repair or whatever. I don't want to encourage a repair, but like, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is that you're scared of happening, just try it. And that way you knock the edge off, that way you're not so nervous about it. Just try it, go for it. That's the only way you're going to improve, is if we try new things. So that is going to be it for this video. Like I said, thanks again, Dirt Rider KX500, for asking this question. Love questions like this. It helps everybody watching. You know, we can all learn from questions like this, and that's what I love most about it. So thank you for asking. Anybody else that's got a question like that, feel free to ask it, so we can help each other out and learn from each other. And hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, learn something every day. We'll see you guys next Friday.